what's wild this week is that the average sold price of a home in Utah last week came to $1,625,000 and change. And you want to know what in the world of Utah drove sold prices up to that point last week? Well, let me set this up for you. So, how's it going, guys? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. We are affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 18th of August, and this is the Numbers, the Nuance, where you come weekly in order to know exactly what Utah's housing market is looking like. And pull the numbers week over week so that you can see these data sets for yourself. And I'll give you, as always, my nuanced opinion of what it all means, but I've got the data right there for you to look at. I believe you can make the best decisions possible in real estate when you've got the best data. Hence these videos, and let's jump right in. All right, so things are mostly as they have been for the last little bit, and in some cases with some data sets, as they have been for mostly all year, our inventory continues to trend moderately up. Our days on market continues to trend moderately up. Average list price is trending moderately up at this point, and interest rates are a solid 0.5% down from where they've been hovering all year until just about 3 weeks ago, and they're still right there at about 6.59% this week, as you'll see on the charts. But what's wild this week is that the average sold price of a home in Utah last week came to $1,625,000 and change. And you want to know what in the world of Utah drove sold prices up to that point last week? Well, let me set this up for you. So we had last week about 74 homes that sold that were over $1 million. And just to set up how unusual that is, understand this, that on any given month, we will sell maybe 100 homes in Utah that are over $1 million on any given month, right? We got to 74 last week. Now, not only were there 74 homes sold last week that were at or over $1 million, but there were also 24 homes that sold over 2 million, 11 that sold under 3 million. I got to look at my stats here. 5 homes last week sold over 5 million, 4 of them sold at over 6 million, and 2 of them sold at 7 million or over, one at 7.3 and the other one at 7.9. That's a lot of high-end luxury homes that sold last week here in Utah, and so that just pulls the average up. And every time a $2 million home sells, that's doubling the effect of what a $1 million home sells on average list price or average sold price in the course of a week, right? So we had a lot over 1, a lot over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7 million last week. So don't worry, that's not like where our housing market is actually. That's not where it's going actually. That's a bit of an anomaly for this last week. So let's look at the rest of the numbers. Okay, here's where things are in the Utah housing market as of the 18th of August, 2025. Our current inventory stands at 13,467. That is up a touch from last week, still trending up as you can see. That upward trend has slowed down. We hit a peak at about 13,600 and then it started to come back down. Now it's trending back up. We'll see if we get over that peak. We're happy to have hit that peak, frankly. The prior week's average days on market came to 59 days. That's down from the previous week. This data set trending very moderately up right now. Last week, the average list price came to $725,854. That is down from the previous week. Trending moderately up though at this point. And as we said, the last week's average sold price came to $1,625,386. That skews the next data set that I like to show you, the difference between average list price and average sold price, which skewed heavily this week in favor of sellers, obviously, to the tune of $899,532. Like I said, that's an anomaly. As you can see, typically this number is hovering around $10,000 in the buyer's favor, and I do think that is still what's normal on the market generally right now. And it's important to know that last week's median sold price came to $550K, which is up a bit from the previous week, but that just tells you, right, there's more people in Utah having experience buying a home at about $550 than there are at, 1 million and change, or even the average list price, $725K and change. Last week, there were 623 homes that sold. That is up from the previous week, trending pretty level here with a bit of an uptrend on that slope. Currently under contract, we have 5,372 homes here in Utah. That is up a touch from last week. Still looking to be on a slight downward trend, but obviously fairly level overall. Last week, the number of price reductions we had on active homes on the market came to 1,548. So up just a pinch from the previous week. Still looking stalled around 1,500, again, largely because our inventory seems to have stalled and hovered around its current count. Last week, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn came to 406. That's down a bit from the previous week, still trending up as you can see. And lastly, our interest rates currently for a 30-year fixed rate conventional loan stand at about the national average of 6.59%, basically where it was last week at the lowest point we've had it all year. And that is it for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about any of this data or how I present it or why I do, just hit me in the comments. I'm always happy to respond. If you or anybody you know is looking to either buy or sell a home here in Utah, especially in Davis County, Salt Lake County, or Utah County, in the upcoming months, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me, letting me know. I'm gonna be happy to work with you or whoever it is that you refer to me. I consider it my job to make the transaction part of you moving go as anxiety-free and smoothly as possible. And of course, if this is the kind of information that you're interested in, if you're a data person, if you want to know exactly what the market looks like, particularly if you're on the market to buy or sell a home, you will find no better way to understand our market than hit that subscribe and stay up on it with me from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, bye-bye.